Part 3. Quick to adapt, he grew accustomed to the weight upon the road. He would suffer the repercussions this time instead of permission. He knew the location of the saloon. The Dixie Star was another beacon in the night, much like the church, which offered devilish wares and empty comforts. It was well lit to usher in more of the unscrupulous. If a traveler somehow failed to see the light, raucous music poured out a sweat siren's melody. The ruby-red stained glass turned the dance of lamplight into a dervish of blood. Ladies of the night beckoned from the second-floor terrace, who pleaded for comfort which plucked at the hearts of the purest. Men and women walked into the Dixie Star from all walks of life, but all walked out poorer of coin and character. The Dixie Star's true decadence waited inside. No matter the label on the liquor, it was all the same. But the price. Drunken fools full of lust led upstairs for sinful wares, and to be robbed if they should pass out. Rigged games of chance emboldened before the house took all the money for the house. As the night deepened, the unwary travelers became disenchanted, and after being robbed of their money and scruples, most of them lost their life. The facade of seduction gave way to the truth of damnation. Locke stood before this Babylon made of lies. Whores called down to him and showed him flashes of intimate flesh, like promises made to be broken. The smell of liquor was a sour miasma. He shrugged to move the armor into a more comfortable position. Music tore a manic beat to dispel all the people's despair. A group of men screamed over a game of cards which degenerated into fistfights before one drew a gun. People barely acknowledged it, and those who saw it laughed or turned away. Bedlam drowned the gunshot. Locke watched them and steeple his fingers to keep them from purifying the house of iniquity. Inside the den of corruption, pleasure masked the putrefaction of morality. Gambling, liquor, and sex were a symptom of the ruination, for the true root was the fallibility of the human soul. Once he had tasted such pleasure, but after confronting his darkness, it deepened his agony. Locke touched the cross scar on his face. The first cut of penance was the deepest, and marked a path of righteousness. Blessed is the righteous sword of justice, he thought. Locke walked to a table as furtive glances measured him. They had mended the chair and table too many times. Vicious splinters pricked his skin.
A drop of blood coagulated beside a fleck of vomit. Men avoided his contempt.
Whispers accompanied the quick glances, which spread throughout the Dixie Star. "Hello, mister," she cooed. "What'll you have?" She composed her lips into a smile, but it faltered when his coal-black eyes met hers. Below their calm rage, fervor warred with calm. "I don't seek any drink, madam," returned Locke, eyes searching the room, "and I'm here for other things." "Oh," she raised her skirt up to show snow-white skin, but her hand trembled. "I can help you with that." Locke stared into her eyes. Too much makeup spoiled the bright green of her wide eyes. Probably the queen of some nearby fall harvest. She had walked into this pit in the earth. With the timid attempt to incite lust, he nodded, sure of his action. He leaned forward, and she licked her lips. "You should leave while you still have your purity. Look around you. This place is evil. All its allure is a sham beneath you, and you can't tell me you like this ugliness." She peered around. Truth broke the glamour. The place and the people were disgusting. Desperate people searched for answers in pleasure, yet only slipped deeper into depravity. It was the plea in his hard face that convinced her. She walked away from the table, and his haunted, fervent eyes. "As I live and breathe, Mr. Marrow," a smooth voice called in good humor, "why is such a righteous man in such an unholy place?" "You," Locke bellowed, and his hand went to the revolver. The world grew black veins at the edges of his vision, and his heart roared in his ears. The man smiled, opened his arms as if to embrace him, but dropped them with a wicked smile. His eyes gleamed and hardened. "It is I, your commander, teacher, and friend, Lasetta." He gave a proper, though jaunty, military salute. Locke ordered his hand to be stilled. The sudden stench of raw meat was overpowering, but he dismissed it. The glint of his Saint Januarius medallion caught his eye. Flowing blood inside the ampule liquefied, and the bones swirled about the glass. For an instant, Lecetter's handsome, roguish face was a hungry corpse full of want. He willed away the rage. "You forgot murderer, rapist, thief, and slaver." Lecetter burst into laughter. "You mean fun?" His eyes danced. "You're decadent and vile," he rebuked. Locke stood with a hand on the revolver. "And I've waited a long time to cull you from the garden, serpent. There is no heaven, and this," Lecetta tapped the table, "is hell, for it is full of devils." Men and women drew guns. The other patrons fled, deciding to find their pleasures elsewhere. Lecetter's marauders were just as wicked as him. Death was a mercy seldom given by them. Locke saw their faces in varying stages of decay, and the St. Januarius medal grew hot. The horrors Father Arles alluded to in the script and sermon were real. "Nothing will stave off judgment," he swore, and any fear melted away in his righteousness. Lecetta sneered, and the marauders laughed. "Locke the righteous will judge us," he swore, and bitter was their laughter. "But I won't submit to judgment. I'm no traitor. The Union killed and defiled your family, and